Hello, English 2 students, and welcome. Here is your main assignment for this week. I'm going to kind of walk you through how to do this main assignment. So without further ado, let us pull this up. So this is the EOC prep materials analysis. So I want you to kind of analyze the reading materials that the EOC is giving you to practice with. The learning targets for this are that and usually I'll have the class repeat them after me. I will identify an author's writing purpose. I will identify a piece of writing's intended audience. I will evaluate what I have learned, and I will evaluate areas where I struggle. So you're supposed to read 6 prompts this week. They are hovering above Seattle, dark side of Antari. You asked, how does 3D printing work? Secrets of the secret sea of the sea, connecting the country, the interstate highway system, and voyage to the moon. Those are your 6 particular reading prompts that you're going to read. So for each of these prompts, so all 6, I want you to ask the following question or answer the following questions. Number 1, what is the writer's purpose? Now, if you remember back at the beginning of the year, we read this book, we didn't read this book. I was teaching out of this book, Write Like This by Kelly Gallagher. He outlines 6 writing purposes, and I've kind of broke those purposes up from the 6 to 12. So you have 12 writing purposes that you're going to identify. So you're going to say whether the piece was to express, whether it was to reflect, inform, explain, evaluate, judge, inquire, explore, analyze, interpret, take a stand, or propose a solution. All you have to do is say, this piece did this. Then you're going to tell me who was the original intended audience. So who did this writer write this for? What was the type of person? Who are the people that they wrote this for? Most of the time it is a general audience, but like what specific niche of the general audience are they addressing? Number 3 and 4 are kind of opinion-based and more based around you. And you will know, I don't care how good or bad of a reader you are, you can always do these 2 questions. The first is, what is the most important thing you learned from the text? Even if it's the most boring text in the world, you can still pull some important information away from that text. So I want you to tell me, what is the most important thing you learned from the text and why? And number 4 is, even if you are the best reader in the world, there are still certain things that you might challenge you, not necessarily that you struggle with, or something that you might challenge you. So what did you find was the most challenging, the most difficult thing? So what specific part of the text did you find the most challenging, and why that specific part? Now, I don't want you just to go ahead and say, I don't want you to say, the whole thing was difficult. No, don't do that, please. For that, be specific. Be as specific as possible. If it's the very beginning, what about the very beginning was confusing to you? Pinpoint that confusion. If we are able to pinpoint our weaknesses, if we're able to pinpoint where we're confused, then we can fix it. But if we try to paint it over with a broad, vague brush, we're not going to ever improve. So once again, you're going to do that for all 6 of these. You're going to identify the purpose. Then you're going to tell me who the original audience was. Both of those can be done in 1 word or a couple word answers. The last 2 need to be done in at least complete sentences, maybe a couple sentences. What is the most important thing you learned from that text, and what specific part of the text did you find the most challenging? Why? Now, another thing to help you out a little bit, here's kind of how you can structure this particular piece. So this is, of course, Google Docs. So here I am in Google Docs. You'd put your name, the class, my last name, then I like day, month, year, but you can put that however you want. Then all you have to do is just type in the title of the piece. So the first 2 that you have to do are hovering above Seattle. Then right here, you'd put the purpose, and the purpose you can get away with just putting inform. That will work. Or you can get away with putting judge. That would work as long as it's the purpose the piece was trying to accomplish. The audience, you don't have to have a super crazy. You can say something like tourist, or people who are enthusiast about something as the audience. Then for the most important thing, you just do number 3 and actually write it out. These 2 aren't going to be as indicative as the first 2. So you're going to need to actually write out, like in a complete sentence, what was the most important thing you learned and why, and what was the most challenging part of the text and why. After you're done with that, just go down to the next one, write the title of the next one, Dark Side of Antari, and repeat. And you're going to do that 6 times over the 6 different prompts that we read this week. So that is the bigger assignment. That is the main assignment, the bigger one that I want you to do that I hope will help you become better at building meaning as you enter, as you get closer to having to tackle the demon we call the EOC. If you have any questions, please email me, pdavidson@portugal.k12.mo.us, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.